Hello everyone, JohnScr12 back here again with another video, and I'm bringing you once again another addition to my top 5s. Today I give you, as stated last week, I give you my top 5 Dragon Ball GT battles, or fights rather. I've been doing this for a while, top 5, so I decided, seeing as how the linchpin of that has been Dragon Ball, I decided to end it with the countdown to the greatest battles in Dragon Ball history, and that includes GT. Even though you may not like it, I'm including it just for, shits and giggles, so what are you going to do? Anyways, last week I gave you my top 5 Dragon Ball Z movie fights. Please check that out if you haven't already. But today I'm doing all about GT. I don't know, I'm basing this all on memory, so don't kill me in the comment section. But, of course, in the comment section, if I get anything wrong, please tell me. This is subjective. It's my personal list. It's my personal opinions. And you know what? It was really hard to do this particular list because, to tell you the truth, I'm basing this all on memory, and based off my memory, and based off my research, which was half-assed, essentially, there's not really that many battles in GT. I mean, granted, GT is not that long of a series. I mean, it's, I think, less than 100 episodes or some shit. But, God, there's, hardly that many battles between the characters, and majority of them are Goku, of course, and, I didn't want to make this completely about Goku, but it was hard to do, and plus, there's not really that many fights in GT, to tell you the truth, so it was really hard to count, which ones I liked and which ones I didn't like, so it's really hard to, pick and choose, and, it's kind of like picking and choosing the worst of the worst, it's like, how do you choose? They all suck, but, you know what? As I always say, GT, even though it's inferior in comparison to Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, it's still a decent series, so, I decided to include it in this countdown, so let's get right down to it. Today, I give you my top 5 Dragon Ball GT fights, and let's go right into it. Starting up at number 5 has to go to Goku versus General Rildo. Originally, I was going to choose the fight between Gohan and Rildo, but I decided, I guess the Goku one is a little more superior in comparison, because A, it's longer, and plus it actually ends with, with a happy note, and I always liked Rildo as a character in the series. I think he was an interesting, cool character. I mean, I consistently forget his name, but I always liked his design. He just looked like a cool character, although, if anybody noticed, which I have, don't you kind of find odd that Rildo is kind of more of a Nintendo character? I always felt like he deserved to be a villain on Sonic more than Dragon Ball. Doesn't he feel that way? He feels more like a Sonic villain than a Dragon Ball villain for some reason. I don't know why, but nonetheless, his variations are cool. I like the Hyper Metal Rildo. I like the Meta Rildo. All those versions are cool, and I like his abilities that he's able to control metal and all that stuff, and his battle with Goku is just pretty badass in and of itself, so that's why it's made on my list. But moving off of that, going to number 4, I have to give it up to Ice Shenron. I think that's how you say his name. I mostly base that on the fact that A, I like the design of him and his brother, and I like their abilities, that they're kind of different, he's able to use ice and variations of ice, and the other one's able to use just fire and variations of, heat and fire. And I like that. And also, I like the desperation of Ice Shenron. His abilities go only so far with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And his fight with Goku is just badass. And I like the desperation in him, because he would go to great lengths just to get rid of Goku. And it was just interesting to see how that went. I mean, he freezes Goku. He freezes his arm, and not to mention he blinds him for a short period of time, which I think was pretty badass. I mean, granted he didn't go all Matrix style with it, which I think would have been cooler, but nonetheless, blinding is pretty, evil and fucking crazy, especially if it's long term, that's kind of fucked up, but of course it wasn't. But nonetheless, I like the battle with Ice Shenron and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Moving off of that, going to number 3 has to go to Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Nova Shenron. Now, why I consider this a superior battle? Mostly based off the fact that I like Nova's powers more than Ice Shenron, and plus, I like the fact that A, his abilities are cooler, and B, I like how the relationship with him and Goku develops. Like it goes from them hating each other to him like joining him in battle and helping him. And I think that was pretty cool and badass. Because you don't get that a lot, and when it does happen, it's pretty cool. I mean, like, it's kind of like a throwback to what Goku as a character does to other characters. Like he did it to Piccolo, to Vegeta, to Ginyu, to Frieza. He did it to all these characters, and it's up to them to like pick and choose and go which way they have to go to become a good guy. But even though like most of them fucked up, like Frieza got himself killed twice like an asshole. But I just like that kind of stuff. It's like he doesn't kill people, but he has to do. You have to go great lengths to get rid of a person who has no way of changing their life and can never listen to reason. So it's hard to decide when to kill someone, but when you just convince someone that doing evil things is wrong and doing good is better, it's a good moment. And I just like that, between Nova and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But moving off of that, going to number 2 has to be Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta versus Omega Shenron. It almost made my number 1, but I decided to put it number 2 because it just went on a little too long, and plus, I don't know, I just think it was not it went on just way too long. I mean, like, there was so many opportunities to stop the fight and end it where it should have, that it just never did, and plus, I just like all the twists and turns the fight go with, like Goku versus Sin Shenron or Omega Shenron, whichever name you want to go by. And his like failures with him, and then like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta getting into the scene, which is pretty cool and badass. And then fusing into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is pretty badass, even though I don't understand why his hair is red, but nonetheless pretty badass. And then them going on a full assault against Omega Shenron, and I don't know, it was just so badass. Like the whole fucking scenario between Goku and Vegeta and Shenron, so fucking badass and cool. It was just a great battle. And, you know what, I guess I'm going to end it quick. I guess I have to end this quite short. I didn't really want to do that, but there's not really that many great battles in GT. But I guess to name a few honorable mentions before I give my number 1, has to be, let's see, Gohan versus Rildo, Maju versus Baby Vegeta, even though it wasn't that great. I guess that's pretty much it. Yep, that's pretty much... Goku versus Frieza and Cell in Hell, I guess that's also pretty badass. Even though it was not that great, it still was interesting. It was interesting, I guess you could say. And, I guess just for shits and giggles, Goku versus Super 17, I guess. Even though I don't like the Super 17 saga, it's my least favorite saga of the whole series. I just put it up there. Just screw it. Fuck it. But going up to number 1 has to go to Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Baby Vegeta. Yes, it's my favorite battle of all the battles in the series. As you all know, the Baby Saga is my most favorite saga of GT. And I just love all the twists and turns and all the fucking amazing scenarios with Goku and Baby. With Goku trying to transform into a Super Saiyan 4, to him failing against Baby Vegeta, and then like him finally transforming to Super Saiyan 4 and battling Baby Vegeta, and then Baby Vegeta, becoming the Golden Great Ape, and all the great scenarios in that battle is just badass. I mean, like, Baby was a badass villain. He was my favorite villain of GT. And the whole battle was just awesome. Even though I still don't see how it's possible that Baby Vegeta and his Golden Great Ape form was superior to Goku in his Super Saiyan 4 form. Doesn't really make that much sense to me. It feels kind of, sloppy. But nonetheless, it was a great fucking fight. But that's going to be it, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed this specific episode of my top 5s. As you all know, I'm counting down to the greatest fights, or at least my favorite fights, of everything that has to do with Dragon Ball. But in the comments section below, please tell me what you thought about my list, and also give me your list of your top 5 GT fights. I'm pretty sure none of you actually have one, because nobody likes GT that much. But if you do like GT, or at least remotely, watch it on occasion, in the comment section below, please give me your top 5 GT fights. And I guess that's going to be it. Next week I'm going to be doing my top 5 Dragon Ball fights. Yes, the top 5 best, or at least my favorite fights of Dragon Ball, of the Dragon Ball series, and of course I'm going to be ending it with my Dragon Ball Z fight. So I hope you guys are psyched about that, but that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the specific addition to the top 5. Check out my last one, and of course check out this one. In the comment section below, please, of course, tell me what you guys thought, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.